adult show, and if you ain't one of them, it's probably time to go.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this weird corner of the internet. Except those who are easily offended. People who don't like bad work. People who think life's dangerous.
You'll never make it out of here alive.
Anyways, letting rest.
Welcome.
Our not at all helpful host, Hickory, the dang and underwhelming.
TDAU live. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. I'm, of course, Hickory, the dank and underwhelming, and welcome back to the show. It's TDAU Live. We're on episode 3B. We got Max Trubin on the show. We got some fun stuff to get into. Like, did you know that if you're an American, all your information got hacked and released? Yeah, that's fun. And a few other stories. And we just got to catch up with Max and see what's going on. And looks like he might be on the show a little more often coming up. We'll see what's going on. We got a lot of show to get into. So let's get to it.
Yeah, back, baby.
Are you saying you want to show me your tits?
This is the story of a drunk who grew up kind of a punk, and then all his friends left him, and now he's here alone. This is the story of a drunk who grew up kind of punk, now he's here doing the dang and underwhelming live show.
This is a weird show.
Dang and underwhelming live show. Dang and underwhelming live show. Dang, 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 dang and underwhelming live show.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. I'm, of course, Hickory, the dank and underwhelming. Joining me is this beautiful man, Max Trubin. Max, welcome to the program, sir. Oh, you're muted. I think I can click that and unmute you. Boom. No. Yeah, it's muted on StreamYard. Like you just gotta. Huh. Yeah, no, I tried to unmute you. Technical errors abound. Watch out, ladies and gentlemen. I wish I was good at ventriloquism right now, because I'd just be like, I'd give Max a fake voice and try to, I'll figure this out. Yeah, Max. Okay, Max will be right back. So welcome, guys. It's episode 3B. We're here with Max, and yeah, we got stuff to talk about. There is, Google was found an illegal monopoly. That's a whole lot of fun. You know how there's forced ads, and no, I'm not even going to get into the ridiculous fake headline story.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
No habla Mexican, señor.
¿Qué pasa, amigo?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Peruski,
welcome back.
понимаешь? Peruski. Brother, I love you, and I'm glad to be back on the show.
Pierogies?
I hope you're okay. I didn't mean to scare anybody with
I
that
like
Russian stuff.
pierogies.
Конечно, of course.
Did you?
I'm getting, I don't know if you're getting on your end, Kyle,
right?
but I'm getting the circle of hell from StreamYard. The same thing happened when we went on Monday night on another channel. It was awful. Just at StreamYard, like I said, we pay you good money for this. We pay you $50 a month times as many people as you have. You better get this nonsense fixed. Not you, Kyle. Not you. This has nothing to do with Hickory or Max. This has nothing to do with us. This is from the OBS software that we pay for. That's why we're getting these problems and we're complaining about it.
Yeah, amen, brother. That's yeah. They should have it. One would think it would be a smooth machine now. But then again,
right?
I also assumed that they would be like interlinked with Rumble by now. Like I thought that would be like one of the ones that was like really easy to work with by now, because they announced they were going to start like a year and a half ago. It was like there was an announcement from StreamYard that explicitly mentioned that they were working on figuring out the thing with Rumble so they could do it like they did with YouTube and Facebook. But
have you added Rumble manually to your destinations? Okay.
Yep. Although I have stopped
I'm
streaming to Rumble a little while ago, just because like you had to have the membership, and I was like, I don't get enough, or maybe that's changed. I should probably
Yeah.
check.
No, brother, the way they've got it set up now, if you go to your if you go to Rumble directly, you can now download Rumble Studio, which is nothing like TikTok and what they ask you to do and then take all of your information and
Yep.
sell it off. But with Rumble, they have Rumble Studio, and what that allows you to do is now from Rumble, you can stream to YouTube, you can stream to locals, and you can stream to, I want to say Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat from there. It costs absolutely nothing. So Rumble is actually giving you free OBS software in Rumble Studio to stream to multiple destinations that you do not have to pay for. Did you hear me,
That's
StreamYard?
wild.
Because that $50 a month I could spend someplace else, buy my kids, my wife something. I don't need to spend it with StreamYard if Rumble's gonna treat me better and pay me to broadcast content and make
I realized
content.
that was set up now because I would have been I would have been back on Rumble. It was just that it was like for a certain point, at least, you had to be like a paid member to live stream on Rumble. Like you could upload videos, but live streaming was like a $25 a month membership, which when you have a bunch of them,
Right.
like
No, StreamYard.
like StreamYard and Adobe and all these like all the little things that one ends up needing.
Well, here's the beautiful thing about that Rumble Studio. It does as much and has the same capabilities. Not saying it is as good as Adobe, but it has all the same functionality and it costs you nothing. The only fee that Rumble charges right now is a no ad fee of $6 per month flat. Streaming is free for everybody. It costs you absolutely nothing. You will not be censored unless you do something that exposes or exploits children, women, the elderly, human trafficking, things you shouldn't be doing already,
Something
because that's not the
egregious.
platform for it. Yes. But Rumble is solid. They don't work with YouTube. They don't play nice together, and they never will.
Which is wild that you can stream to YouTube from Rumble and it's fine. It's fine with that. So yeah, we'll be back on Rumble, I guess. We used to do an
Yeah.
after show over there for like season 3 and 4. I think we were doing like we cut like an hour and then we'd go an extra half hour to an hour just Rumble only, so we could talk about anything we couldn't talk about on the main line.
Which is ironic because as we were talking off air, as they call it, and during that course of time, both of our spouses' wives, female wives, X chromosome wives, are on vacation last week and away for business, for work, whatever. And we're streaming, we're both doing our thing on our channels, etc. I did a 7-hour stream between my other YouTube channels and Rumble. No issue with Rumble whatsoever. 7 hours nonstop. Boom.
Oh shit, that's awesome.
Yeah. I loved it.
Yeah, I did like 15 to 20 minutes on TDAU live last week, and then went like 3.5 hours on the Media Virus podcast. Maddie Rockadeff and Professor Mike and Grease Monkey Pete and Troy joined us. Yeah, they got a token black guy on their show. I'm pretty jealous about that situation myself.
Oh
We had one for
man.
a little bit, but
Me
they're
too.
hard to keep. They're hard to keep around these parts. It's we're hoping now that GW is down in Georgia, he'll be able to find us one. That's
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Without a doubt. He's the minority down there. I only
Yeah.
know this because I lived in Atlanta.
Okay. Yeah. He's in Savannah doing the art school thing, and for you guys out there, we'll be happy to know that GW might be gracing us with his presence here in the next couple weeks. We're waiting on some things to come in. Nick's here. Nick said, "What's up, brother?" Nick, good to see you, brother. I hope all is well. I hope your car hasn't broken into. Yeah, I should have pulled that shit up as an article, but I didn't. And local news, very, very hyper local news, is cars have been getting broken into in my town. And yeah, nobody's caught the person on camera or anything yet. And
And when you say broken into, are they taking things out of the vehicles or are they doing things outside the car like
no,
catalytic converters, etc.?
no, I haven't heard anything about parts just going through cars, mostly unlocked cars. Stealing lighters, cigarettes, any cash, that kind of stuff. Rick said, "Hell no, I have guns and a dog." Yeah.
I like Nick already.
I did, but I lost my dog in a tragic boating accident. And no, I'm kidding. Those were the guns.
That's
Yeah,
why he's a comedian as well,
yeah.
folks.
It was sad. Now all I'm armed with is a beautiful set of wands, and I think there's a pair of nunchucks over here. Yep, right there. You better not break in. I'll get the ninja treatment out here. And I like nunchucks. They're nice on the shoulders. Like they make your shoulders feel really nice. Like warm them up and stuff.
And don't
So,
forget, he has Russian comrades here in the Midwest that got his back no matter what.
but yep, no, we're yeah. I also live out in the middle of nowhere where it'd be pretty obvious. Tito had a generator and other things like taken. That sucks. Did hear about someone in Queechee the other day who got a set of golf clubs stolen out of the back of the truck, even though it had like a tunnel cover and everything. Like it just poof gone. Like went into a store for 5 or 10 minutes, came out and his clubs were gone. I was like, oh wow, and that's like on the main road. Like Route 4 is like the main road that goes through one of. Oh, that bike was loud. There's probably like 5 or 6 main roads in Vermont, and that's like one of them, and they're literally on the side of the main road. Like it's not, you know what I mean? It's not like there's no places to park in the back. It's not, and
Not as
it's rare for here, is what I'm saying. Like Vermont's a very
more type setting.
it's a very
Rural suburbia.
uptight, rural, wealthy white people place, and it's very like no joke. Like I don't know if it still is, but if you were to Google it, I remember that they were Vermont was in the top 3 whitest states and the top 3 safest states for quite a while. I don't know if that's still the case because Burlington's gotten a little wild. They've got some things up there. Shit, I mean, even in Rutland, like the nearest city to us, which is 40 minutes away. And when I say city, like you wouldn't call it a city. like it's the third biggest, second biggest city in Vermont, and it's not a city. It's like a little urban rural town, I guess. You know what I mean? It's got stuff, and it's got city stuff like shops and chains and
I like more shit than what you're at right now. So I mean, you're out in God's country.
yeah, yep,
Over there, we can call it civilization. We can call it the
yeah,
world. We can call it whatever.
yeah,
You're in peace and harmony right now.
yeah.
Then you got to go to that shit show
there's more
just to
pavement
get
than
your fucking
grass.
car fucking broke into.
Yep. Nick said, "Lol, my son just asked my mom if she had nunchucks the other day." That's a very interesting thing to ask somebody, but also awesome. If not, you should definitely get him a pair, or I might have to. I'll get some practice ones. Those I have up there.
Soft ones.
Yeah,
Get the soft ones for
they're
practice. Yeah.
they're foam. They're basically like PVC pipe wrapped in foam with a chain connecting the two. And they're nice.
Oh,
They're just a little light. So for certain things, they don't quite have the momentum that a nice heavy real pair do. But
you
they
know,
also hurt a lot less when you crack yourself in the junk.
I think you just made the most brilliant statement and gave me the most brilliant idea in the world just now. I'm
Okay.
talking Tenacious D style, but better. We're going to make our own nunchucks, and they're basically going to be big black dildos with a chain connecting them.
Okay.
And basically, if you get hit with this motherfucker, that's on you. You get hit with a big black dildo that's a nunchuck form, you're fucked. We're gonna make
That's a
them,
great idea.
isn't it? Who wouldn't buy that? It'd be like almost a double dildo
Yeah.
and a weapon.
I would definitely carry one.
It's a
That would be,
multi-purpose tool.
I got to start writing these down, man. We're coming up with great money making ideas on the show.
Yeah, somebody's gonna steal it.
Nick,
I
you
think
gotta be,
Nick's writing this shit down right
yeah,
now.
Nick, I'm gonna make you the secretary, I think.
We're gonna be the marketing manager, Nick.
I've been voted in. Nick said 4 bank robberies in the last 2 days. Is that
serious?
Is that all Vermont or is that like specific towns? That's kind of wild. Who robs banks anymore? Is it going with the chain and ball spike? Or it's chain and spiked ball? Yeah. Those things are mean if you know how to use them. They're a little heavy and clunky though. I like the idea of dildo chucks though.
Dildo chucks. I'm telling you, we own that shit right now. And you motherfuckers try stealing it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to make a prototype, I suppose. I have to go through the old show bag and see what I got left over. You know.
Let me go grab my big box of porn over here. I keep in the back over there where nobody can see it. Okay, we're gonna see if I got any big black dildos laying around. Eh?
My big
I don't
box
want
of
that battery
dogs.
operated shit. Yeah, just dick toys. Everybody's got one.
That's the worst part.
Or we can do the mini dick ball combinations to hang on your shoes, like little trinkets.
So like truck nuts, but for your shoes.
You got it. For your Crocs also.
Yeah, that's a very good idea, my friend. And then maybe a front one for the Crocs too, or like 2 so they're horns.
Yeah, see?
Dildo chucks, next Olympic sport.
Don't say that word. Don't say that word. Don't say that word.
Yeah.
Whatever you do, don't say that word. You can say dildo all you want. Dildo, no problem.
The
other word,
sport.
Yeah, just call it the French thing. Just call it, because if you say that word, they will hit us with the fucking copyright. I promise.
Oh man,
call it the French thing.
Yep.
Don't.
Sorry, I totally spaced that. Nick,
No,
you set me up, man. You set me up.
Oh, no, Nick. Nick, you're good, brother. Duh. Everyone's good. It's just over censorship when there shouldn't be any when it comes to talking about things that are being watched on television by certain individuals. I don't know. I didn't watch the thing over in France, but I have my own reasons.
I didn't. I generally just don't care. That's like, but then again, that's me, and no offense to you, because you're obviously a guy who enjoys sports. I'm not a sports guy like at all.
That's okay.
I like strongman. Like that's like the only sport I generally watch when I have time to watch sports. Competitive strongman.
It's just fucking awesome and fucking brutal.
And I love untested sports. That's that side I'm like very, very interested in. Everything else I'm like, actually there's a guy, Nick said it's been a shit show for sure. Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah, it's Vermont, man. We've welcomed in a bunch of people, and then we put up the homeless for free for a while, for like a year and a half or 2. And a bunch of people moved here because of that, because they could get a sweet fucking hotel room for a year. And here we are, because they all got kicked out. But,
do you think that there's a certain group of individuals that had anything to do with pushing said, we'll call it alleged agenda, to get these demographics into your location, your area, for a specific reason?
I don't know. I am very convinced that there's a certain population that are trying to get everyone who's normal to leave
in order to take over.
Yeah. Basically, I feel like if I wore a tinfoil hat, I might say that the plan would be to get anyone who's like normal working class out of the state in like the next 20 years. And that they kind of want to turn it to like DC North. Is like, it's basically on the trajectory it's going right now. In 20 years, only celebrities will live here.
Only celebrities and what are currently minorities, based on the rate of birth or the birth rate of Caucasians versus the birth rate of other demographic groups. And I'll use the Black and the Latino, which have doubled since 2000. And if you don't believe me, you can fact check out all you want, algorithm. You know I'm smarter than you, algorithm.
And yeah, well, I don't even know that. Like, the funny thing I see is that like so many normal working class people are leaving that like we're going to be at a point where it's just super rich people and they're all going to be pissed off because there's nobody to run their gas stations or their restaurants.
Look at the tax increase.
Is the
Absolutely.
trajectory. Yeah, we yep, definitely pushing the locals. Look at the tax increase. Yep. That's 100%, Nick. He said lawn mowing competition, MC molasses for sure. For games for the next one, lawn mowing, I'd be into that. I could walk out to one of the molasses songs, just throw down. Probably make lawns great again. Hopefully,
Are there a lot of supporters of the former president, number 45, up there?
I mean, Vermont's probably like 20 or 30%. We have a Republican governor, but he's definitely like an anti-Trump neocon type. The only reason Governor Scott won is because he was facing like a Bloomberg-backed anti-gun governor, and everybody said no. And then 2 years later, after a certain tragedy, he I think it was the one in Connecticut, he signed like a magazine restriction ban and that type of thing anyways, which is basically he basically gave them half the shit she was going for. But it's hit or miss, but only by an ear.
No pun intended.
Oh, man. Yeah, no, so I took July off the show. Like I just took a break. I pulled
whole
back
month.
Yep, pulled back, did like just reset. You know, got plans, took some time for myself, worked on a relationship, some good stuff. But yeah, it was kind of nice to it was the first time in 4.5 years that I haven't been live at least once a week. So it was nice to pull back for a little bit and just take the month. But I also didn't realize that, like, I kind of assumed like June was kind of active and there was like a bit of stuff going on. And I was like, July's going to be fairly boring. There's nothing like real is going to happen in July. And then it turned into the most historic goddamn month of my life. And I was sitting there like, I should really go on and vent about this. And I was like, no, it's just time. Like I've already said I'm going to do it. I'm just going to calm down. I'm going to focus on me and just do some stuff that's not me online for a little bit, just to take the break, because the only breaks I've really taken were like I was on vacation. I've pre-recorded a few shows, but that was about it. It's been like 4.5 years, almost 5. So actually, no, it just passed 5. 2000, yeah, 4. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, it's got to be 4.5. We did 4.5 seasons, and then yeah, this has been like the 4th full year. So it's nice to take the break. But yeah, July turned out to be a very, very exciting month. Like, holy crap.
A lot of things happened in July.
Yeah, and a lot of shit I didn't see happening. Like, I didn't think Biden was gonna drop. That was like one I didn't think that was gonna happen. I thought something else was going to happen. And I think the plan was for something else to happen, not the something else to happen that I thought was going to happen. I thought something natural was going to happen, like right before the race, and it was just going to be like a complete clown show, which, I mean, let's be honest, it still is. But yeah, I did not expect him to drop out within a week of Trump surviving. And yeah, that one. I also am not entirely convinced that our vice president is going to be the nominee. like I mean, the DNC hasn't happened, right? So there's still like this chance that they could select somebody that's not her, even though people have said they're going to back her. That doesn't mean they're going to, right? Because the Democrats have like the super delegates thing, and they can kind of just choose.
Well, Here's the best way to explain it. It's murky water, to say the least, as far as the topic in general and the way that that particular political party operates. Not that there's a great deal of choices politically out here. And that particular political party, who happens to cater to a certain demographic more so than any other demographic, has their own agenda and their own way of finding ways to manipulate laws, rules, and regulations to get what they want. So ultimately, I guess what I'm saying is if the ticket is Harris and Tampon Tim, and that is what they want, then that is what the people, whether or not they legitimately deserve to be in that position without winning a single primary, etc., if that's how they want to play the game, then that's the way that they're going to be allowed to do it. Any more than, number 45 is under constant scrutiny for nothing other
Yep.
than trying to do his job and help others.
I agree with you, but I'm still not sold that they're actually going to select her.
Let me ask you this then. Let me ask you this because now that I'm super curious because I've went through these scenarios in my head and I thought this for a moment and I thought to myself, there is no way that she has a chance realistically based on her performance, her polling, and her ratings as vice president, that and she has accomplished nothing. I'm not going to sit here and tell you all the negative things about her that other people say because you can do that research on your own. I'm not here to
Yeah,
slander
yeah, look
anybody.
it up on
But
yourself.
what I do find very interesting is the one person, two people rather, that I'm not seeing or hearing from are Mr. Sanders and Pocahontas.
Yep.
And I don't understand why they haven't been thrown in the mix to some degree or been interjected or implanted. They've been nowhere to be found.
Partly because they don't want Sanders. He's like although he's really become a lot more establishment since he had a chance back in 2016, before they did him dirty for Hillary. Had a lot better chance, and that was the left populist uprising, which got crushed. And then it turned out the right populist uprising took over the party, and now people are pissed, and it's hysterical. Um,
It honestly is.
yep, it's mind-boggling because like if Bernie had won, everybody would have been stoked, including anyone who's a normal Republican would have been like, "Oh shit, populism took over the left. This is a good thing for all of us. This means we can talk some common sense and not be a corporatocracy." Uh,
I think that you make a great point there, and I think that Bernie had a lot more support across the board through individuals that didn't have a catered type of agenda laid out for them. He spoke to everybody the same. He wasn't trying to get one particular group of people to identify with him
yep,
or his he had the best interest, I feel, of the people that he represented and wanted to do a good job. Whether or not that would ever happen, we'll never know.
yep. Yeah, it would have been really interesting to see what would have happened in 2016 with Bernie versus Trump.
But I didn't mean to interrupt. I just wanted to throw that in. But tell me who you think is going to be the surprise. What's going to be the October surprise this year?
Oh, that's a whole. Who knows? How censored is it going to be? Like, uh, it'll be
Well, see,
interesting
brother,
because it'll
it's
be.
it's reverse censorship because the media controls what they want to be put out, and who controls the media? The individuals that control the whole United States, and then some, based on absolute facts. There's only a handful of corporations that run everything from media to logistics to everything in between. There's not
It'll
that
be
many companies that own the whole country.
it'll be real interesting to see this year though, because like Twitter won't single-handedly be able to suppress a story like they were last election. Like last October, Surprise was suppressed and discredited by 50 something signed officials, and that shit's not going to fly because they can't just use Twitter as a government wing anymore. So they've lost that. We'll see what happens with Google. I actually have that story pulled up that I guess the DOJ is going to dismantle Google,
Good.
which is great. We'll also see what happens with it. Like it's a I'm interested to see what that looks like. But it would be nice to not have them own the internet for a while. That would be cool.
The
I
cool
almost
thing would
wish.
be The sad thing about Google is I've been paying money for Google ever since they started taking it from me. So for 20 years, if not longer. And for those who don't know, Google was started by two individuals that went to STI, which is Stanford Technical ST Stanford Technical Institute, I'm sorry, which is in California. One Russian guy, one non-Russian guy. They worked for the government. When they did so, what they did was if you were old enough to remember going and having to put in a disk to get on the internet, you would do an internet search. And let's say you were searching uh, truck fenders. It would show you pictures of trucks, it might show you pictures of fenders, but the search would not be concise enough to really get you what you wanted, so you'd be staring down page after page after page trying to look for something. What Google and these 2 guys did, they were able to make that search to where it would identify the context of what you were looking for and show you exactly what you wanted to see. And
Okay.
also, they worked hand in hand with the government to keep surveillance and tabs on what you like, what you watch, what you search, what you look for. And it started out as ARPA, ARPA, which turned into DARPA. The D stands
Yep.
for defense, DARPA. You can look that up and search that and research it for yourself to find out more. But
Check out the dancing dog.
Yeah, Google is not what they seem, same as YouTube. They are not what they appear to be.
Yep. Next, I just saw the Google Maps vehicle at Cumbies yesterday. Yep. Doesn't surprise me. It makes me wonder how often they have to like they catch stuff and have to go scrub it. Like,
A lot, bro.
Nick said, thanks for very interesting facts.
No, we're
Yeah.
gonna get into interesting facts because I didn't know what I was coming in for on the show. I had no idea. I thought we were gonna talk a little shit here and there. I had no idea. And then in the intro, he said something that I am going to speak to in a different light. I'll let Kyle talk about it, but I'm gonna interject at a certain time for a little segue into what rights we have as Americans based on his information and information that I personally have, because this affects not only me, Kyle, you, Nick, and every other American, and we can take action. And I'm going to tell you how we're going to do it.
Yeah, I was gonna pull up a story. Are you ready?
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, let's hit the music.
I'm
How the
ready for
drunk is
anything.
this?
That's what people don't understand. And let's talk about that other thing whenever you're ready, because I want you. I feel really good about that because I feel really good about you, brother. The things we
Okay.
talked about off air between you and I, unless I feel, then you feel that it's appropriate to discuss small things. But you gave me some awesome news. I'm super stoked and I'm super happy for you. I'm super
Yep.
excited. I myself haven't had a lick alcohol for 13 years now. Kids
Nice.
are expensive. That's my excuse.
Yep.
And I
I can
prefer
imagine.
a little bit of a different type of medication, more of a
Yep.
natural type of
Yep.
medication.
Shit, just trying to have kids is expensive. Alone once you get them.
I got 2 of them.
Uh,
This
anyways,
gray hair right here didn't come from nowhere.
let's get into the first
How
topic.
the drunk is this? How the drunk is this news? How the drunk is this? Find out soon.
That's right. How the drunk is this news, ladies and gentlemen? Every American social security number and address may have been stolen in a hack. This from Fox Tech and Phoenix. Yeah. The brief, a hacking group called USDOD claims to have stolen 2.7 billion records of personal information from Americans, including their social security numbers and physical addresses. USDOD offered to sell the stolen records, which included the personal data for everyone in the US, UK, and Canada, to a forum of hackers. The data was stolen from the National Public Data platform that offers personal information to employers, private investigators, staffing agencies, and others doing background checks. Well done, ladies and gentlemen. You guys were on top of that. That's Nick said no one knows what happens on this show. Yeah, that's why it's fun. It's a little bit different every time. I said, here can we find Max? Yeah. Max actually just put it in the
Here's the thing about me, Nick. I am what Google absolutely hates because I expose them for what they are, but I don't do it on other people's shows the way that I do it on my platform. I've got a channel, I've got burner channels. My main channel is Shit. I don't even remember the name of my main channel, bro. 'Cause I just got it back today, and I hadn't had it for a couple weeks because
I'll
I
pull that off screen. I'll look it up for you real quick.
and I honestly don't. Shit. That's a good question. Max Factor, Mad Max TV, Max
Oh, when I searched
Factor,
you,
Max
this
Cast.
live came up, so that's good.
Right on.
Mad Max TV.
That sounds. I think that's it. I think that's
Uh,
it. I'm just under 500 subscribers right now. I work
yep,
with veterans. On Monday nights, we do a sports show. Everything I have, I'm monetized on Facebook and Instagram, even though I don't play by their rules right now. They demonetize me, but I'm not going to change my ways because I believe in my convictions and I stand by morality and dignity. And I expose things that need to be exposed. And I was banned. I'm on here now. If I get one more strike for any reason, they take down my channel automatically. So
that was
I'm going
it.
to be back on again tomorrow and let let the chips land where they may. That's it. But yeah, that's
This
me right
was
there.
nice, nice. Yeah, so that's where you find him. Just search Max Trubin. Scroll down a few because the first ones that are gonna come up are right here. I'm assuming because it's live. I don't know. Um, or maybe because I'm logged into my account and I searched it, and so they want to like pretend that they would show me my show first.
Your show's way better than mine, bro.
Uh, Kyle, can you send it to me when you get a? Yeah, hold on. I can do that. I can put it right in the comments.
Yeah. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Rumble, Locals, Twitter, not TikTok. You'll never find me on TikTok. You'll never see me on TikTok. I'll never do a thing on TikTok. I was on TikTok for 2 weeks until they kicked me off because apparently nobody likes to be educated. They rather be entertained because that's simpler and more
Yeah,
convenient
and
for some.
all the links are in there for all the different socials right from the YouTube. So that's nice.
Yeah, the Russian Jew thing is true. I am a Russian Jew immigrant from the former Soviet Union. All these
Yeah,
tattoos, some of the ones you can see and the ones I allow you to see, want to show you, they all represent something. And that's another story that I'm going to get into tomorrow on my first show back on my own channel. But we're
nice.
not here for me tonight. We're here for you guys.
That's right. So we'll get into this story. A lot of data. Holy shit. Who is behind the data theft? A hacking group called USDOD claimed in April to have stolen personal records from the national public data in a massive breach. MPD is a platform that offers personal information to employees, private investigators, staffing agencies, others doing background checks. Los Angeles Times reported, citing a class action lawsuit filed in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. USDOD offered to sell the stolen records, which include personal data for everyone in the US, UK, and Canada in form of hackers. They were seeking 3.5 million for the entire database. The piles of data have been leaked by various entities. That's a lot of data, I would assume. Like, well, I wish they had a number here. Like, I want to know how many terabytes of information that is. Yeah, there's steps. What can I do to protect my personal information? Nothing, because other people own it now. Like, what can you do? Hope you don't have good credit and nobody ruins it on you. That's all you really can do in this situation. I don't know what to tell you. Make sure nobody takes out credit cards in your kids' names. That's going to be a big one over the next couple of years, as we're going to find out all sorts of 12-year-old kids have real bad credit because their social security's numbers got signed up to run up credit cards because that's how the economy's going. And that's something people do in good times, let alone if it gets worse. Steps you can take to safeguard your personal information amid the reported data breach. People should monitor the credit reports. Yeah, so you can watch and make sure nobody stole anything. It's kind of like your car is getting broken into in Bridgewater. Like, yeah, you just kind of look the next morning and hope they didn't take anything important. Uh, don't leave money, drugs, or guns in your vehicles, I suppose. Consumers can ask the credit bureaus to place or freeze on their credit accounts by phone or email to prevent anyone from opening a bank account, taking a loan, or obtaining a credit card under your name. So, yeah, basically, can you imagine if everybody in America, the UK, and Canada all tried to freeze their accounts at the same time? It would be such a cluster. Uh, that's amazing. It's also a service that monitors your accounts in the dark web to protect you from identity theft. Yeah, they're gonna have a field day. Like they're gonna max out their work. Like none of these companies that monitor that stuff are gonna be able to handle what's coming. Like once it's just a few terabytes of this shit gets dumped, it's like it's gonna be like, yep, yep. You're gonna hear about servers melting down from trying to send all the requests to remove information from websites. Like, yeah, it's gonna be amazing. But yep, national data breach. Good luck, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we. Uh,
With your permission, of course, sir.
sorry, what was that?
May I elaborate on this for just a moment
Oh
with your
yeah,
permission,
absolutely.
of course?
Yeah, take your time.
All right. All right, guys, I'm going to explain this, and I'm not going to dumb it down because everybody on this channel, in this show, in this room that is going to watch this at some point is intelligent enough to understand the words that are coming in my mouth. I am going to speak a language that is very easy and simple to understand, a language that we can all understand. It's called our rights. What happens when there's a data breach? Your information, your personal information, any information about you is compromised. Your social security number, address, phone numbers, past addresses, anything and everything, potential medical records, HIP information, private information, anything that you've ever put out there is now subject to be held for ransom, if you will. And that's what's being happening here. So what do you do to protect yourself? They just gave you a bunch of excuses on how they're covering their own asses. What they're not telling you is that it is a federal crime to not report a data breach to the consumer directly within 60 days of the breach. Now I'm going to backtrack to April 4th of this year. There was a data breach, which some of you will probably, if you haven't already, be getting a letter from Ticketmaster. Some of you may also be getting a letter from Advance Auto Parts. Some of you may also be getting a letter from anybody who has anything to do with the allegedly secure crowdsource or CrowdStrike servers that these multi-billion dollar corporations own. And it is those corporations and the corporations that they employ to keep people's important data safe to make sure that actually happens. And if something is compromised, they, by law, have 60 days to report that to you. Now, I don't have to be a mathematical genius, and neither do you, to understand that April 4th, you knew you had a Ticketmaster hack and then you didn't tell anybody, you did nothing. April 14th, you had a hack from Advance Auto, and now we have yet another hack after other hack. Nobody really reports on this because we're being distracted by all the nonsense that's going on in this political theater word salad shit stain of a democracy, which is nothing more than, you want to know what it is? You want me to be honest with you? I'll be
Yeah, let
completely
us.
honest with you. This is nothing more than a popularity contest. It's like if 50% of the people, 51% of the people wanted to watch The Dark Knight, then we're going to watch The Dark Knight. But 49, you know, 49% of the people, they wanted to watch The Notebook. But they don't want to watch The Dark Knight. But now everybody got to watch The Dark Knight. Do you understand what I'm saying to that extent? So they have broke federal law by not notifying the consumer directly within 60 days of these breaches that happened back in April. And now you're just hearing about it. They have broken the law. As we need to hold all these people accountable for allowing our information to be compromised and sold to foreign enemies, allegedly, that will use this information to their best interest in order to infiltrate this country and make it even worse than it is already. And if you don't believe me of what I just said, we can fact check it right now, or you can do your own independent research and say, fuck you, Max, you're full of shit. And then you can be like, damn, he was right. How did he know that? That's a different story. But educate yourself, people. Don't entertain yourself on social media platforms like TikTok that you only have a 15-second attention span, and that's all you need to watch some lady twerk, and only to get somebody to get on her OnlyFans page so she can make money doing that. That's all I've got to say about that. Look it up for yourself. I'm not making this up.
With that said, if you do go to OnlyFans, make sure you subscribe at HickoryTDAU. That's right.
With one exception.
Leaving no platform unturned. The only dank magician you can find on YouTube, Rumble, Instagram, Facebook, Gab, and the fans. No stone unturned. Yeah, there's not much up there, but it's a work in progress. It's a thing. We'll actually get into. There'll be some tracking and progress stuff going up over there that I won't share on mainline platforms because, like, many of the people that follow me probably don't really care to see me shirtless. So, you know, it's a nice place to just stow things like that. Where if you're real curious, you'll go find it. You want to see some really veiny legs? It's a good place to go. But okay. Yeah. Next story. No, I'm not going to donate to you people.
You
finally,
people? What do you mean, you people?
I mean the Associated Press, you people.
Just to be clear, because we wouldn't want to allegedly make any mistakes.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, finally, Google was illegally maintains monopoly over internet search. A judge says, "Wow, who would have thought?" And when do we get when do we get the? I really want is the investigation for election interference, considering they can skew searches for any demographic they want down to your height, weight, and political preferences. They can completely control what comes up when you search news topics and feed you things that are either in your chamber or in a chamber they would like to put you in. And yes, it's nice to see it's finally getting said out loud. Something that anybody with a brain has known for at least 8 to 12 years now is that one company owning the internet searches is a bad idea. Because now they control everything. Because they control information. And that's where the power is, because that's knowledge, and knowledge is power. And if they can keep you from learning what you need to learn, you're subservient. So, yes, that's I'm just glad it got said in a headline somewhere. You know what I mean? Like it took over a decade, but it's nice to see it finally being recognized, and we'll see what happens. I'm pessimistically optimistic on this one, I'll say. What are you thinking, Max? You think this is going to be like there's going to be good moves here, or is going to be it's one of those things where we're going to be like, oh yeah, we should have known that was just going to be nothing.
I'll be honest with you as I can be, and what I say, you can look up and fact check me all you want. The algorithm can kiss my ass. And social media, throughout all social media platforms, on a daily basis makes over $8 billion. Now, how do you think social media makes that much money? I'll tell you how. Off of individuals such as Hickory, such as myself, keeping them relevant by putting out content. Now, whether or not they agree with the content we put out makes no difference because it's still out there and people are going to watch, which means they're going to continue to tune in regardless, because that's what they want us to do. They want to keep you distracted from what's really going on in the world, things that actually matter in ways that you can actually participate and be productive and make a difference. Whereas these fake people out here that have millions and millions and millions and billions and big dollars, bigly dollars, and talk all that unity and this and that, but don't do anything. And I'm right next to the show me state, so actions speak a whole lot louder than words. What I think is that we're being manipulated, and some of us are too blind to see it. We can't see the forest past the trees in some aspects of life, and it's absolutely ridiculous. I think if President Trump is reelected, then we will definitely see Google be put in check, stay in their own lane, know their role. And on one of my episodes, I gave you an alternative to every single Google/Android product and an alternative to replace them that is just as good, if not better, period.
Nice.
We don't need them. They need us. That's what I'm trying to say. Basically, is social media would be nothing without people posting things to it. They can have bots post, sure, absolutely, 100%. But do you think people want to engage with things that aren't real? No,
Of course not. No.
absolutely not. You're telling me that you would rather watch a conversation between two computer animated fucking people versus two genuine people having a conversation about relevant topics? Are you out of your fucking mind?
Yeah, if so, you might as well just go read YouTube comments on big popular streamers because that's what it is in the comments. It's just bots going back and forth. Like
Yeah, you
one
just might as well
person.
follow George Clooney and shit and just listen to whatever he says and Tom Hanks.
Yep. Uh,
I don't know. I think he's
uh,
alive.
uh, before we get into the last segment where I'll talk with Max about the current transition that's going on and where it might be headed. The I had to ask your opinion on this one. The Time magazine cover, of course. Her moment. Calling the Babe Ruth shot a little early, I suppose. Especially when there's no guarantee, as I've said, there's no guarantee that's who's going to be running. Um, it'll be interesting to see what happens at the DNC, whether everybody just falls in line and says, we're okay with losing this, or they try to pull a seriously fat rabbit out of a hat somehow. And I mean, if I was going to speculate on who it might be, circling back, Jen Psaki style on that one. I mean, to be honest, the only person who had the polling to beat Trump pre-Biden dropping out was Michelle Obama. And I don't think she wants to run, and she said she hasn't run, but plenty of people have said they won't run and then do. So I don't know. I think it's one of two things. They're either gonna run her and say, either we have enough cult members to just check boxes that we can actually win, or we'll use her like a sacrificial lamb to lose because she doesn't have a career past this election cycle, anyways. So we might as well not waste some up and coming talent trying and losing to Trump. Yeah, I'm that's kind of where I'm at on it. It's like it's either the play is to either let her crash and burn, and that way you're not like chewing up anybody that you can use next cycle, or they try to swap her and can because that's what the DNC is for. Is they don't have to abide by any type of. I mean, Joe Biden won the primary, so 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 like, which I'd love to remind my friends from work and stuff, like, oh yeah, your primary vote really mattered. Just just remember that when I was saying that primary votes the only votes that matter are primary votes. Yeah, your party doesn't think that anymore. Just get used to that. Because I always said that in Vermont because it's like 95% going Democrat. So the only ones that really matter are the primaries because that indicates who's going to be on the ticket and who's actually going to get into office because you pretty much know by county who's winning. And, it takes a real outlier to lose if they're supposed to win in their county here. So, but yeah, that cover just made me, I chuckled a bit.
You know, for context and background on this, and you can find her saying this on one of her little speeches from years back. She was for taxing tips and wages, 100%. Now
She she
and
broke the Senate tie on voting on taxing tips.
uh-huh. And now,
as vice president, like 2 years ago.
A lot of people don't know that, but it's 100% true. They can look it up and find out for themselves. But now she's reversed her stance after President Trump already announced prior to her. And if you don't know what timestamps are in 32-bit, 16-bit, and 64-bit systems from back in the 70s, you can timestamp and see when Trump said what he said and when she said what she said. And he said it way earlier than she did. She copied and plagiarized Trump. So,
and without even Trump saying it, the bill went and it was split in the Senate, and it was Republican Democrat, and she was the tiebreaker that let the Democrats keep the taxes on tips. As a friendly reminder that
Two-Face.
Yeah. Yep. And that none of the crap they talk about matters. None of it. It's just all it's trash. It's just, and that's for I would say 99% of them. Not just Democrats, politicians in general, to be clear.
The Uniparty.
Yep. Which is most of them. Although they have lost some squad members. It's been squad month primary hunting season apparently. As 2 of them are going away. But yeah, we'll get in the last segment where we'll talk about my transition. This will be the 3rd, 4th episode I've talked about. I talked about it for a bit on the Media Virus podcasts and a little bit 2 weeks ago with myself. But yeah, let Max know what's going on. Keep him updated. Keep you guys posted. Let's get into the final segment of how's the transition going?
How's my transition going? How's my transition going?
Yeah, see what I did there? A transition and a transition. Yeah, the transition has been I'm now identifying as Hickory the Dank and Underwhelming. So yeah, this is it started a while ago. Been on a bit of a weight loss fitness journey, and had a checkup, and blood pressure was high. And he was like, yeah, we're gonna have to put you on meds. And I was like, yeah, can I lose some weight and diet first? And so we set up a follow-up appointment and did that for a bit and lost a little bit. And actually he was super impressed and was like, okay, cool. And it was still a little high, so I went on medication. So I'm on that for 90 days. And then the hope is that at the end of the 90 days, I will have become light enough that my blood pressure can be fine without being on medication again. So yeah, at which point I'm taking the 90 days to just like hammer down focus, no drinking, no eating crap, like everything's tracked, because that's how I do best, is to be honest, is just everything like just tracking. Helps a lot. And yeah, it's been great. Since April I'm down like 30 pounds. I don't wake up from like sleep apnea anymore. I don't snore anymore. My heart rate's dropped like 20 beats a minute resting. Yeah, like shirts and vests are getting loose, which is cool. I've also gotten strong. Well, not strong. Strong, yeah. Not strong like I have been, but I'm a lot more towards the middle end of the road. Like I can squat my body weight for work sets again, so that's nice. I deadlift more than I weigh again. That's nice. Like I'm in the realm of benching like 2/3 of my body weight again. That's nice. We're getting there. It's progress is being made, and yeah, it's more or less even that. It's been great to watch those numbers go up as I'm losing weight, because that's not normally that's something I'm not gonna be able to do forever. But we're gonna fucking run this cut until like November, hopefully, and then take a 6-week maintenance break, and then probably run another 3 to 4 months to get actually lean for next year, because that's something I've never done. Fuck it, if I'm gonna do it, I might as well do it. And just show people that, yeah, you can lose 120 pounds in a year. And yeah, no, I did lose a bunch back in 2017, and I was great up until 2020 when the gyms closed and I started drinking a lot. So here we are. And yeah, so excited to get back to lifting. That's been great. Like, absolutely no complaints. A lot more well-rounded than my first run. So yeah, it'll be nice. It's kind of warm. I almost thought about just wearing the vest, and then I was like, no, I still have way too much man titty up here on the sides to just wear the vest yet, but we'll get there. We'll get there. I can't be showing that for free, Max. That's what my
Is this the fans only? Are we plugging? Is this a plug? Is this a little preview of what we are to expect on that page? You might have a new subscriber, 20,000.
But it's yeah, no, it's been good. So yeah, the transition is Hickory the Drunken Underwhelming to Hickory the Dank and Underwhelming, and then there might be a third final form where the dank drops too. Not that I'm not gonna stop being dank and smoking good weed all the time, but the name might progress once more. We'll see if it's like a final form thing. I can't ruin it ahead of time. It's no spoilers on where this train's going, but yeah, it's definitely going pretty well. I got like 2.4 pounds to meet my next like hard goal, and then yeah, we'll see what happens. So it's been an adventure, and yeah, I actually last week had the first time I've measured my blood pressure, and it was in a normal range. That was dope, especially because it was high. Like my first couple visits, I was like, holy shit.
Was that strange? So we can all know, just in case allegedly it did help, of course.
The what?
The strain, if you remember, because yeah, I get shit.
The strain?
Strain.
I don't know.
It was good then. Got to remember, man.
Oh, what was that? No, the latest strain was titty sprinkles.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was actually bred for like a breast cancer fundraiser thing by some girls only farm in Vermont. Titty sprinkles. I forget what the cross was. It was fairly good. It's like a 30%. It's been nice.
I don't know much about that one. I certainly would love to try some.
Flour, of course.
Of course.
And then the other was charred cheetah piss for the first time recently. Ooh. And not bad. I can't remember the cross on that one either.
I want to know how proud. I want you to know how proud I am of you, you beautiful, beautiful man.
Thank you, brother.
For being brave enough to tell us your tale on your show, on your platform, about what you did for a month to define, to redefine, to reinvent. And now you feel and look amazing. Not that you didn't before, because like I said, you're a beautiful man. And as soon as I find your fans only page, you're in big trouble, buddy.
Be blowing up them DMs.
But I love you, man, and I love the fact that you're honest, you're sincere, you care, and you don't care about yourself before you care about others, because you want to get healthy, because you want to be around for that one day that you're ready, that you decide that you want to maybe procreate, but you got family that want you to be around for as long as possible. And I think that you understand that during that time away from this poison social media that is anything but social, in my opinion, allegedly.
Amen.
I'm proud of you, brother.
Thank you, brother. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate you, brother. Fucking love you.
Nick said,
Not in an alphabet mafia way.
Yes, in a strictly heteroerotic manner.
Yeah, no.
As two men can appreciate each other.
Two men, XY men.
Yes. Even if I have no hair on my legs. It's not that I shave them; it's that I have PVD. So PVD is it happens in obese people fairly regularly. Basically, the blood has a hard time coming back up from the legs. So what ends up happening is some of the veins leak in the legs, which is like not dangerous or hurting you. But what happens is tends to cease hair growth in the area, and it also the iron from the blood stains. So like my lower calves have like a reddish copper tinge. And that was actually like the first thing about like why I went back to the doctor for the first time in forever was like this. It almost looks kind of like a rash. I don't know. I don't know if we'll be able to see it on webcam or not. Oh yeah, we're showing off the feet for free. Oh yeah, right
No
there.
charge?
Yep.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. And trying to figure that out. The other side effect from that is that I get, I guess, what are called varicose veins. Like they're not like the weird spidery ones that old women get, but like I have big, fat, thick. I have very thick, ropey veins. Like it's actually going to be really, really interesting when I get lean because I already have like naturally from being a bigger dude my whole life. I've got huge calves and pretty decent sized quads. I'm definitely missing the glutes. Like that's been something that's been heavy in the training. Is lots of fucking pulling from the floor. But it's going to be interesting when I lean down because I have in it like you can even with a decent layer of fat across my quads, I can see a very interesting landscape of veinage. So it's going to be interesting when I'm lean because it's gonna look like bodybuilder quads, but like even weirder because they're not gonna be like 500 milligrams of test large. Uh, they're they're gonna be like natty large, but
You are
with those veins.
determined and you are destined for greater things, and you will receive those gifts that you deserve, my friend. Just be yourself. It's going to happen, no doubt.
Nick said no hair from the calf skin down. Is that my problem? Calf skin. It's basically from the knees down. I do get a little bit on my toes still, but you know it's one of those things you gotta like take care of with a razor before you go out to the beach in your sandals. Like that's. I also get my toes professionally pedicured because uh, there's few things in this life that you should really spend extra money on. And I swear, getting a pedicure every 6 weeks is definitely worth the $30 plus tip. So it's like $40 every 6 weeks, and I don't have to cut my toenails. I don't have to look at them. I get them painted fresh and nice every time. I get a little calf rub. Like it's, I'm a fan. I'm actually going to be doing that this coming Monday, and then for the first time ever, I've never treated myself to one of these, and actually, my wife is like been adamant about it, and she's actually gonna take me, and partly because she wants to see the barber shop, but I'm gonna go get like a professional beard trim style thing, like have somebody who knows what they're doing trim my beard. So I'm pretty stoked about that because I've never trusted anyone else to take any objects of cutting ability to my beard. So it'll be neat. Have you ever had a professional
You,
beard trim, Max?
I like to think of it as more of a professional level type based on my experience of shaving.
Okay.
So I could probably shave my shit okay, decent. I mean, from afar, when I'll be, zooming in, yeah, it looks fucking great. It's great as
Hmm.
shit. But I've never had a pedicure. I'm jealous as shit now.
Oh, it's fun and it's interesting. I'm usually the only guy there, but I'm with my wife. Like I don't, I mean, it's not like I don't, I don't think twice about it. But it is funny watching these you
Asian.
know, well, oh yes, of course. They're everybody there is very Chinese, and we don't
Yeah,
communicate.
if you get a white person, you're fucking
No,
you're from what I yeah, no.
we communicate through taps. uh, it took me a little while to figure out the physical sign language thing, but it works. Um, it's a lot of knee and shin taps to move your feet up and down or put them on the block or whatever. But no, it's pretty nice. Yeah, Hickory going bougie. It's not even bougie, dude. It's the fact that I don't have to cut my own toenails. And they get cut, they get soaked, they get callus treated, like all the stuff, so that I don't have rough feet, so that my wife enjoys like cuddling me.
Is it $40 a foot, or like for
No,
both
it's
feet
like
they'll do all this?
it's $30 for both.
Get the fuck out of here.
And so we live like a $10 tip. So and that's for like the base level, and you can go up, like you could add for another 10, I think you can add like a 10-minute massage. So it'd be 40 plus tip. And no, it's pretty reasonable.
Like, what if I wanted one China person for each foot and calf? Can I do that?
I'm sure you might have to pay more, but they would do it.
I'm fine with that.
I'm willing to bet you could talk out whatever, especially if you're willing to pay for two.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Doesn't
Yeah, they
that?
probably more than happily.
And then I'd fucking record the whole thing while they're trying to communicate with me, not communicating with them with dollar bills and shit and yens
Yeah, that
and
sounds
yuans or whatever they're using nowadays as currency.
entertaining as hell, my friend.
Oh, I love it. I can do that.
Watch that.
Oh, fuck yeah. You ought to watch my videos when I go to old folks' home because I like to help the elderly. Did I ever tell you about that story?
No,
Oh, this is great. You're gonna love this one.
yeah, please.
So, in order to help the elderly, I go to the dementia and the Alzheimer's wards where the people have bad memories, and I like to spend some time with them. So I go in there and I fucking scream and yell at them, berate them, and then I realize they don't remember shit. So I just laugh with them, and they laugh back, and they love it. Fucking great. Ah, I love America.
You yell at him
I
in
don't
Russian.
do that. I have never done that. I have never ever do that in my life to anybody, especially somebody with dementia or Alzheimer's.
They say you got to do it in Russian. Is that it's even more confusing?
Oh, then that I'd be on that watch list shit again. Fuck that. He's got that too. Russian.
The
I
word
don't like Ukraine.
the
Like my
hospital
dad is from Ukraine. Fucker.
staff would be like making notes, like I think Ernie and 3C is part of the mob. There's this Russian guy who keeps coming here and yelling at him in the middle of the day every Tuesdays. There's something going on. I think he's like Ernie the dementia patient's a caviar smuggler. He's bringing back that good beluga.
You don't want the red. You want the black. Trust me. I'm Russian. I wouldn't lie to you. And we're not the enemy.
He said, "Oh damn, that's too bad. How much to put my socks in the morning? I'm too fat for that." Well,
Shit.
can I get a glass of warm milk? You can get a nice glass form of milk. Shut the hell up. You're on my time now, Granny.
I knew somebody would find humor in my stupidity. I love it.
Oh, it reminded me of a Dr. Mike story. Like he's there's an internet personality who does fitness stuff. He's got a PhD, Mike Israel, and he goes off on tangents all the time. And he's definitely had a couple in different videos. And these videos are like literally imagine a professor of sports science teaching you in depth about something to do with the science of training or recovery or nutrition, and all of a sudden he goes into a rant about yelling about his grandmother or yelling at his grandmother and telling her to shut up. And then one very specific one I remember, he's like, yeah, and then the transition hits and me and grandma are down in the basement doing curls together, and and grandma's always hitting one more rep than me, just calling me a bitch.
I got put by grandma. I'm like, fuck that shit, grandma. Tripping. Flexing on him like I'm LeBron.
Next to that, oh, that is from Billy Madison. Yeah, you get the nice warm glass of shut the hell up from my time that green.
Can we do the Billy Madison
No, that's from
debate?
It's from Happy Gilmore.
More.
Actually.
I was going to say the Billy Madison one was everything you've just said. Was incoherent, yada yada yada. I don't remember the whole thing. I should, but something about that fucking
Happy
minister.
Gilmore. My fingers hurt. Well, now your back's gonna hurt, Granny. You just pulled blindscaping duty.
Yep, Happy Gilmore. I remember. Yeah.
Yes. I can't hear that song without thinking about that movie still to this day. Because anytime I hear that, bear near near, bear near near, like I'm just like, oh god, I need to watch Happy Gilmore again.
What about I wanna kiss you all over
No
and
Miranda
over
again.
again?
That's probably I don't know. What's the There's a good random question. Well, let's end out on a few random questions. What's the Adam Sandler movie you've watched the most amount of times?
Therapeutic. Excuse. Don't want to waste it for therapeutical purposes. I like anger management.
Okay. Yeah,
Big
I'd say Big
Daddy,
Daddy.
yeah, Big Daddy was good.
Mine's definitely Mr. Deeds.
Mr.
That was
Deeds.
yeah, I've watched Mr. Deeds probably like a couple hundred times. It's one of those movies like that it was in my collection of like 10. No, I had a fairly large collection back then. It must have been when I was like 16, 17, 18. Still living at the parents' house one summer, and I probably had like 40 or 50 different DVDs, but there's like five I would watch on repeat all the time. And Mr. Deeds
You
was
know
one of
what?
them.
I gotta say, Little Nicky also because I watched Little Nicky so many times, so fucked up.
Yep.
And I went to not fucking KFC, but motherfucking Popeyes until they started shooting motherfuckers for chicken sandwiches. I was like, damn, Popeyes is the shit. I'm not getting shot for no fucking chicken sandwich. I ain't going out like a punk. Like what happened to him? Like motherfucker went out and get a chicken sandwich at Popeyes after you watch fucking Little Nicky. Fuck that. I ain't getting no chicken sandwich. Mm-mm.
Do you okay, how about it's like your favorite Kevin Smith film?
All right. All right. Which Kevin Smith are we speaking of? Kevin Smith pre fucking medical emergency or post medical emergency?
That's a good question. I'd say pre.
Favorite movie of all time, Jay and Silent Bob, when it comes to that genre. Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. What the fuck is the internet? Who the fuck is this fucking guy showing up in motherfuckers? That's me like every day. Like the fucking internet? Like, you serious? Like this motherfucker's making a video showing me his license plate and his address. Are you out of your fucking mind? Damn. Allegedly.
Yep, that's a good one. I don't know, man. I get torn between Clerks and Dogma as my favorites,
Yeah.
but it's probably Clerks. And Clerks 1, to be honest. Clerks 2, I'd like it's all right. I I didn't enjoy it as much as I wish I had, and I haven't seen Clerks 3 yet, to be honest.
No,
I did
Clerks
see
3.
they do all right.
It's worth the watch. It's worth
Okay.
the watch.
I enjoyed the reboot. I thought Jay and Silent Bob the reboot was pretty good, and they did a good amount of like a lot of good tie-ins to all the other films. The only hard part was my wife hasn't seen all of them because I don't know why, and so there was a lot of explaining going on.
So you got to go through Mallrats. You got to go through.
Yeah,
There's
we got to basically go from the beginning and do all of them at some point.
yeah, Mallrats, by the way, fucking classic.
My favorite, I would say my favorite scene though, as much as I fucking Clerks is probably my favorite Kevin Smith movie of all time, but my favorite scene is from Dogma, and it's from when they're sitting in the diner with the chick, and he's explaining to him how they went to Sherman, Illinois, because all the chicks were hot and all the dudes were pussies, and nobody had the connection, and they thought they could make fat money living in Sherman, Illinois, from 16 Candles. And they got there and realized it wasn't a real place. That's that scene and that storytelling is like one of my favorite. Just Jay Muse was like absolutely on fire filming that scene.
I know, and I hate giving plugs to anybody, but anybody that hasn't yet seen That Matt Rife special that just came out this other day, needs to
Oh,
watch it.
okay.
He's fucking funny as fuck.
Okay. I'll have to get into that.
And
I
if
have
you
not
haven't
seen that
seen the
one yet.
Joe Rogan one, it's okay.
Yeah, I wondered about that. It's been a long ass time since he's done a special.
It was like I said, it didn't blow your socks off. You want to see something that's fucked up? You should have seen when they went live the first time with Tom Brady and roasted him. That motherfucker's about to kill a motherfucker.
Yeah, I'm still
Holy
surprised.
shit.
Still surprised Netflix did that. Like,
He'll never do it again.
nope. Well, no, just doing a fucking live roast is like absolutely ballsy.
Yep.
Like there's reasons Comedy Central pre-recorded all theirs and then edited them down. like doing one live is like you have a lot of faith in a lot of people there. that that nobody's gonna say anything. That's a
You set yourself up for failure.
yep. Yeah, especially having a bunch of non-comics there, you know what I mean? Like and like athletes and all that, like people who don't professionally speak or do jokes. Like I'm fortunate in the few roasts that I've been a part of, there was like more comics than friends. I mean, there was comic friends, don't get me wrong, but it was more comics than friends. Because like friends are either really fun or really fucking rough because they don't realize how rough they're being because it's like they're just joking with their buddy, but they're doing it in front of a crowd of people. Whereas comics typically know how to distance themselves enough to make it not sting as much. But yeah, no, I miss that. I haven't done a roast on someone. We do movie roast every month. Shout out, by the way, this Friday down in Middlebury at the Marquee Theater, which has a beautiful new face on it now. There's no more road work right out in front of it. It's nice. It wasn't even road work. It was like literally the Marquee Theater's marquee spot was failing, and so they had to like refront the building. It got fucked up last winter. But yeah, we're roasting Roadhouse, and then next month, September, I can't remember what the date was. I want to say it was like towards the end, like September 27th. We're going to be roasting Reefer Madness. Yeah, yep, September 27th. But yeah, this Friday, August 16th at 7:30 at Middlebury Marquee Theater. And I'm excited. And hopefully G-Dubs is going to be on the program here in the next week or two, depending on when packages get delivered to his house, but I assume it'll be sooner than later because he's like way more in a connected area than he was before. Like actually living down there and working, and I'm excited to catch up with him. And yeah, Max will be on again soon. We're gonna try to figure out. I don't know if we set a time. It's like we need to figure out like
You
once a
just tell
month.
me when, brother, and I'll be here ready to go.
Okay, we'll have to pick like what week of the month you want to do, and we'll line it up. And that's awesome. I'm very happy to have you on board,
Likewise, brother.
and be awesome to have plenty of more of these conversations. But other than that, anything you wanna get off your chest, my friend, before we get out of here?
I just want to congratulate you for taking the time off to reestablish, redefine, and reinvent yourself for the better self, for the betterment of you, for the betterment of all those that love you. I'm glad that you did it. It was necessary. Sometimes this is a toxic environment. I'm talking about social media in general for anybody. You had the gumption and you took yourself and the priorities, the things that matter, and put them ahead of anything that might come across that you don't think you can live without. The things that matter in this world are the things that you can't ever get back and replace. There's going to be another YouTube channel, there's going to be another platform. But what you did, I'm very proud of you. I want you to keep going on that journey. You're going to end up encouraging others to do the same thing. I'm very proud of you. I'm very grateful for you having me on tonight. I thank everybody in the chat for conversating and being a part of it as well. And I'm just grateful that I was able to be here with you.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that, man. Max, you're awesome.
Likewise, brother.
I look forward to being in touch soon. Thank you guys for joining us on this little weird, what I call it, a weird corner of the internet where I like the new little intro. I like the step down voice that sounds all creepy. The "You'll never make it out alive." It was fun. That's actually a Van Wilder quote. That's where that came from. Is the she tells him about a writer, and he tells her about a writer from the school because she's a school reporter, about one of the famous writers that's from the school that said, quoted, "You should never take life too seriously. You'll never make it out of here alive." And then she ends up like quoting it back to him at the end of the movie in the climax thing. Yeah. Anyways, that's where that came from, and I absolutely adore that. Anyways, that's all I got. Thank you for joining us, everybody. Max, thank you for being here as always, my friend. And that's it for episode 3B of TDAU Live. I will see all of you guys next week. Fingers crossed GW is going to be around. If not, it'll be the week after. But yeah, there'll be more shows to come, and I will keep you guys updated. Until next time, Dank Magician out. Cheers.
Above all else, I just want to say thank you. Have a beautiful night. Drunk Magician out. Cheers. Now let's get the credits. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate the help. Cause this is a show I do by myself. I produce the shit myself. And I've been through a lot with friends and a lot of shit I